in this part, what we will do, we will define our next stages, that are web build, deploy, and Android build and deploy. Fine. So let me uncomment first this. We'll see one by one. Fine. Okay. So in this part, I'm using a different project because the deployment setup was not done in that me map. So I'm using another project. Okay. So I'm assuming that you are manually deployed your build on Play Store. So now we will do how we can automate that process by using a pipe CI/CD in GitLab. Okay, in this deployment part, continuous deployment part, we will see how we can automate that process. Fine. So let's see how we will do. So firstly, we will start our web deployment part. Fine. So as you can see, the previous step would be same, like we have to start our runner. Once our runner is start, then we are good to commit. Fine. So let's define our next stage, that is web build. So first in the next we declared our web build stage, and now we will define it here, a web build. Okay, here our web stage name is web, and we call our stage that is web build. Fine. And here we are defining our script part, is that we want to build our web folder. So we use Flutter build web, we are building our web here. Okay, then we are give the path for that. We are saying that please add it on this part, build and then web folder. And we are also specifying tags, that please use this Flutter tag runner, which have this Flutter tag. So in our third stage, what we are doing, we are building a Flutter build folder. We are building for Flutter web. Okay, so now once we have all the ingredients to deploy our product on web, then we will use this web deploy stage. Fine. In the next stage we will deploy it. I'm using Firebase for that. Fine. So let's declare our next stage, that is web build, web deploy. So fine, now we build our web folder. Fine. Now what we have to do, we will deploy, we will define our next stage, that would be deployment part. So I'm using Firebase for deployment. So what we have to need, what the pre-requirement for that. Okay, so let's define it first. Here our next stage declared, we declared web deploy the our stage. Okay, now we will define here web deploy. This will pick this stage, that is web deploy. And is this, and we have another field, that is dependency. The what this dependency is, we are saying that this stage is dependent on web stage, this one, this part. So until or unless this is not completed, this could not be complete. So we are saying that this would be dependent on web stage. Fine. And we have our script, that is Firebase deploy dash token and our Firebase token. So you can get this Firebase token from your Firebase console on a specific project, whatever the project we are using. Fine. So here where we define this variable, this Firebase token. So for that we will use GitLab for that. Okay, come on GitLab. Okay, once you come on this GitLab setting, see, come on CI/CD, and here you have an option of variables, expand it. So I already added this token. You can add it from this button, add variable, add your name of that variable. In my case that was Firebase token, and paste the value of this particular token here. Okay, and simply add variable. Fine. So I already added this variable, so this would be pick here, Firebase token. So I added this script here. and I also specify my tag, that is Flutter. Fine. So as of now, what we did, we define our lint test, we build our web part, and then we deployed it. Fine. So our next is okay. Our next stage would be Android build. We will build the Android APK inside this stage, and then we will deploy it. Fine. So let's uncomment the next stage, that is Android build. Fine. We declared, and now we will define. We are saying that this stage will take Android build, and inside a script we are saying that our first script is that what the command is, Flutter build APK in release mode, build number, we are saying that CI job ID, and this will take up to 8 parameters. Fine. 0 to 8 number. So this build number would be unique every time, because the CI job ID is unique for each and every time. So we are building our APK in release mode with unique build number. Fine. Okay. And after that, what we are have another command is that in next line what we are doing, we are saying that Flutter build app bundle dash dash release with build number of our CI job ID up to 8 digit. Fine. So now what we are doing, we are installing the bundle here in next line, and then what we are doing, we are changing our directory, we are going on Android directory, this directory, and then we are executing this command, bundle execute fastlane move file. So we will see what this fastlane here. So basically fastlane help us to deploy our application on Play Store or whatever the store we are using, App Store, for internal testing and release mode. This help us fastlane tool. Okay. So what we will do, let me uncomment first. What we will do here, we will create a fastlane folder, one here on our of the directory. Fine. And then we will start writing, create a fast file there. So create, I already created fastlane fast folder here. You can see here, you can see here inside Android you will create a fastlane folder. Fine. In fastlane folder what we will do, we will create a fast file. Fine. Let me uncomment first whatever that here, we'll see what are happening one by one. Once you created a fast file like this, I already have, so I do not need it. Fine. We will start defining our lane, like inside here, inside your GitLab YAML file we have a different stages which are doing a different task. Like that, inside our fast lane we have different lane which are responsible for doing a different task. Okay. So in first line what we will do, we are defining the platform, we are saying that this is for Android, default platform, that is Android platform. In our first, let's now we will define our first lane. Okay. So we are saying that platform on Android, we are giving the description, and then we are giving the lane, that is move files. Fine. And here what we are doing, we are extracting the version of our application from their spec.yaml file. Fine. And then from version we are explicit the build code for that, and then from our job ID we are extracting the build number. Okay. And here we are checking the condition that if build number is null or nil, then we will get from this version split version variable our build number, and this will end this statement. And if this is not, then our job would be picked from our job ID, and if job is not null, then we will initialize job with this value. Fine. And then what we are doing, we are initialize this build number with this variable which we have build number, and we slice it from 0 to 8 index, and we initialize, we updated our this variable build number. Fine. And we are defining our file prefix, that is our project name, our branch, then our build number, build code, build number. Fine. And what we are doing here, we are putting our build folder here on this path. We are changing the directory, and the directory we make a directory build and artifacts, and we are writing the shell command to move this build app output flutter apk release apk on this. Okay. And we are moving this one also, and we are moving this file also, and all of the files we are moving there. Now we are writing on that particular place. Fine. Once everything is done, we are close this lane. So here our first lane is completed, that is move files. Fine. So now come on here. Here what we are saying, inside our android build stage we define our stage android build. Then our first command was we are building a flutter apk in release mode with build number by help of ci job id. Okay. Then we are install a bundle first lane, and then we have a command, we are changing our directory, we are going on this android directory. Then we are executing bundle execute fast what is this fast lane move files, this is our lane name. We are executing this move file lane. So what we in this line, what we will done, we will our challenge directory would be changed, and we will execute this move files lane, and whatever the code would be written inside this lane, that would be executed after line number 39. Fine. So this all the thing would be done, our apk would be moved on a required place. Fine. So now we have our paths of our placed apk. So now what we have to do, we will deploy our apk on play store for internal testing. So we will define our next stage, that is android deploy. Fine. So let's declare it here, android deploy. Now we will define it here. We named as play store and reference the android deploy stage, and this stage is dependent on our android stage, this one. Fine. We are saying that this stage deployment stage would be defined on this one, because we, until or unless we do not have an apk in release mode, then we could not upload it. Okay. In this stage, what we have is, what the script we have, we are saying that will change the directory to android, and then execute fastlane play store internal release, that is our another lane. So we have to define this lane, and then we will define our, as usual, our tags. This is not required, but if we want to pick by specific runner, then we can specify it. Fine. So we have now, what we have to do, we have to define our this lane also. So now come on this fast file, and let's see what we are doing here. So the description, we define the description of our lane, that is submit a new build to play store or internal, whatever the description you want to put it there. Then give a lane name, play store internal release. Okay. Two. And then we are compress the file from here which we build it and put it on our previous lane, and pick the version number from our this variable, then our build, then our job, and AAB path of our apk AAB. Okay. Then we are using this supply method to upload on play store for internal testing, and end our statement. Give our drag, that is internal version name, we put it from this variable build. Okay. Version code, and give the AAB file with AAB path. We skipped uploaded apk, and if we can also add different step here also, like we can also add the images which we want on Play Store. Okay, so we are skipping that part. As of now we are just uploading the APK for internal testing. So as you can see, we defined our lane file also. Okay, fine. So now what we have to do, okay, now we will create a app file under a Fastlane. Fine. Inside app file, what we have to do, we have to give a JSON key file. Okay, which you can get service account user.json from Firebase or Cloud Console also. Okay, and put it on secret folder which I created here. On whatever the folder you want to create, you can create it and put it there, and then give the package name of your application. Fine. So we have done now. We define our stage: lane, test, build, deploy, build, Android build and deploy, then define lanes, then unit test, then build, then our we build our this one web build, and then we once we build our web part, then we deployed the build folder, and after that we use this Android stage. In Android stage we build our release APK, and then we execute our fastlane command to move the file at a required place from here, this lane. And after that we use this Play Store, you name that this Android deploy stage, which depended on our Android stage, and use script, this one, bundle execute fastlane Play Store internal release. This inside this we defined how to upload on Play Store for internal test. Fine. So now let's try to commit and see what's happening on our GitLab. Okay, so I'm assuming that you have all this sim, that you have created this thing, your secret or whatever the thing are, which are required to upload on Play Store. I'm assuming that you are doing this stuff by manual stuff. Okay, by manual way. Okay, so let's try to run a new commit now. So fine, we defined our all the stages. Now let's try to commit and see how the pipeline is running. So let's make some changes in our code. Okay, let's do one thing. Go on, we will see, we will do on home pages what we can do. Okay, see. Okay, let's see, we have any tracking changes. Okay, we have these tracking changes. What are that? In router, okay, there are some formatting things. Okay, fine. So let's commit it. Clear git status. Okay, what we have to do, one, make sure that firstly you have to start your runner before doing a commit, otherwise your runner would not pick this. So for that, what you have to do, sudo GitLab Runner run, and give the password of your system. Okay, fine, my runner is start now. Okay, okay, runner is started. Now what we have to do, now I can commit it. So I'm using this system as a runner. Let's suppose you set up your runner, registered your runner in another system, so that system should up while you doing a commit. Okay, so let's now commit it. Commit -m update dependency. Okay, let me process. Fine. Okay, now let's come on our GitLab. We have our this project academic master, and see, this is our latest commit, that is update dependency and this should be picked by our runner. This is in pending, but this would be picked in 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, it's started now. It's picked it. And let's wait for a few seconds. This, let's see. You can see we have our stages, lanes, then test, then web build, then web deploy, Android build, and Android deploy. This would be run one by one. So first, currently running our lens stage. Okay, so wait for a few seconds and see how it's running. Fine. Okay, let's see how our pipeline is going now. Okay, you can see that our lanes are passed. Okay, our next stage was then after links that are stages, that are tests. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Okay, comes on jobs and see. Okay, let's tap on this folder and academic most. This pipeline going on. Test is passed. Our web is built and it's deployed. Let's see in deployed what's happening. Okay, you can see that it's successfully deployed. If you want to check, then go on this hosting URL and we'll check it. Okay, and now what's running, our Android build is running, means our apk is building here. Once it's done and move the files by using Fastlane, then our deployment would be run. This would take some sort of a time. Let's wait for that and we'll see on our Play Store and our internal testing is it uploaded or not. Once our last stage, that is our Android deployed, is created, successfully done. Okay, let's wait for a few more minutes. Fine, see our all the stages are passed now. Okay, let's see what's here. You can see that our lane stage, web build, deploy, Android build, and Android deploy is also passed. So let's see. Okay, you can see or all the jobs are succeed. Okay, now come on your Play console. Okay, and let's come on this testing tab, and inside testing we have an option of internal testing. We will check either we are getting our build here updated here or not. You can see that it's updated by build number and the version is 22 and the release on 25 August at this time. Fine, and you can also see the summary also. So we are done for this video. So we added our 5 stages: lane, test, deploy, build, and we define them and successfully run it. Fine. Okay, we can also do some more things, that like we can send automate mess. We can also add a lane stage here that send notification, or add some lane here that also send a notification on Slack or Gmail also. We can add one more script inside here. In and on upcoming video, what we will do, we will see how we can do this for iOS part. Okay, and the automation part also, how to send a notification of our latest internal build link. Fine, so that's it for this video. So I hope you have cleared now how to implement CI/CD in Flutter with, I mean, Flutter or whatever the project, by using a GitLab. So thank you.